Greetings. This video is going to be really quick, but I'm just going to add some other real-time data to our discovery about how much telework has changed the landscape permanently and how many people are now doing their jobs from home, thereby reducing traffic, reducing demand for commercial real estate, and eventually leading to a cascade effect that will change real estate patterns all over the world. So right now, just to prove to you that I'm not showing you a different time or anything, this is Google. I'm hitting the reload. It is 6:24 p.m. in the town that I live in, which is Saratoga, California. And what I'm going to do now is show you Google traffic for the Bay Area. Now in the Bay Area, the tech workers are in San Francisco, San Mateo County, and Santa Clara County. The East Bay is relatively less. And you can see how even at 6:24 p.m. on this Wednesday, July 14th, there is relatively little traffic. There's a little bit of orange, very little red in the main areas that the tech workers commute to and from in. And you might say that 6:24 p.m. is after rush hour, but no, you haven't been to Silicon Valley then if you think that. The East Bay has a little bit more, but those are not tech workers. What is amazing is that even now, with Silicon Valley wealthier than it has ever been before, every major tech company is booming and reaching heights they didn't even think they could reach a couple years ago, and hiring like crazy, frankly. There is not that much traffic even during rush hour. The telework revolution is here to stay because tech workers, who are the fastest adopters of something like Zoom and of practices that enable remote work and telework, have made this shift. And now the previously ultra-clogged Bay Area, especially Silicon Valley, which was entirely gridlocked with traffic before March 2020, now does not have much traffic right now. And to compare another city that has less tech workers, we go a bit further south to an even larger metropolis, Los Angeles. The traffic here is a fair bit worse, but still not terrible. There are fewer tech workers and otherwise knowledge workers per capita in the Los Angeles area relative to the Bay Area, and therefore a smaller percentage of the workforce has probably adjusted to the work from home revolution, and therefore the traffic is somewhat worse when previously the Bay Area was actually worse than Los Angeles traffic-wise. But it's still not terrible at 6:24 p.m. Pacific time. There's some red, certainly, and a fair bit of orange, but a respectable amount of green, so it's not too bad. And we can check a much smaller metropolitan area as well. San Diego, completely green in San Diego. Very little slowing of traffic at all. So if I shrink this up, you can see San Diego and Los Angeles in one view, Los Angeles with traffic as I described. And the Bay Area, quite green. This is much greener than it ever would have been before coronavirus because of the telework revolution. Now, because of the time zone difference, I can't show you other big cities such as Chicago, which is 2 hours ahead. It's now 8:25 p.m. there. Or New York City, 3 hours ahead. It's 9:25 p.m. there, so it's no longer rush hour. But I might do that tomorrow, perhaps, and do another video around that. But here you have solid proof of the telework revolution. Silicon Valley companies employ more people at higher pay than ever before, and yet we do not have traffic jam at what would be peak traffic in any other instance pre-coronavirus. Wednesday on a weekday at 6:25 p.m., 6:30 p.m. That is amazing. This is more real-world data of the telework revolution, just like we saw in the prior video of how New York City subway turnstile traffic has dropped by 2/3. 2/3 drop in turnstile traffic because New York City is also a service work epicenter. All sorts of work on Wall Street is done by people sitting at desks in front of computer terminals or sitting at desks on the phone. So this is just a brief video to provide some real-time data updates and to show you indisputable proof of the time of day that this was occurring. And you can see visually a technological disruption that has occurred before your eyes. And now think about all the implications of where people will live and the effect on commercial real estate and the repricing of all sorts of real estate based on this new capability of telework and the untethering of the worker, frankly. I mean, it's even green here on 680. Normally this is super gridlocked. People who can't afford a home in Silicon Valley, they live very far away in a place like Tracy, and they would commute in, and this would be usually 2 hours each way if you were going by car, but now it is green. That is incredible. You have seen a tremendous liberation of tens of thousands of workers. Frankly, hundreds of thousands of person hours of highly skilled people are now being saved relative to what was the case just a year and a half ago. Technological disruption is truly an exciting thing to see. Anyway, that was all this video was for. If you like this type of content, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching.